Welcome back to the Mindful Journal podcast. I'm Alexis, and today we're diving into a topic that so many of us can relate to: overwhelm. So, you know that feeling when everything seems to be piling up, and no matter how much you do, it never feels like enough. It's easy to get caught up in the stress of it all, but today we're going to explore how we can move forward from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered without overthinking every step of the way. So, if you are ready to take control of that stress and start managing it with more ease, take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Let's get started. We all know what overwhelm feels like. It's that sensation when life feels like it's literally just too much to handle, whether it's a busy work week, a never-ending to-do list, or just the daily pressures of life. Stress can spiral quickly into a feeling of being completely out of control. But here's the good news. Overwhelm does not have to be your default. In fact, it can be a signal that it's time to reassess. It's time to slow down. And it's time to take a mindful approach to managing your stress. Today, I'm going to share with you some practical steps that you can take to move from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. And we're going to do so without letting our minds get caught up in that trap of overthinking. So we're going to break this down into about 5 steps. And of course, we'll end with our journal prompt. So the first step: break the task into smaller and manageable chunks. The first thing I want you to do when you start to feel overwhelmed is to break down your task into smaller and more manageable pieces. It's easy to get lost in the big picture, and you'll start to feel like the whole mountain is yours to climb. But the key is to focus on one step at a time. So you're going to start by writing down everything you feel like you need to do. Then you'll take a moment to break each item down into smaller and more actionable steps. So here's an example. Instead of writing organize the house or clean the house, break it down into smaller tasks like declutter the kitchen counter. You see how specific that was? Or sort through the mail. Yes, we know we need to clean the house. We know we need to organize it. We know we want it to look nice and feel open and clean. But keeping that bigger overarching goal of organize the house is what creates overwhelm sometimes. So we break the tasks down and we make them specific. And this way, we make each task feel more achievable and less intimidating. Step 2. We're going to set realistic boundaries. One of the most important things that we can do when we're feeling overwhelmed is to set realistic boundaries. So whether it's work, social commitments, or even our own inner expectations, it's easy to fall into the trap of saying yes to everything. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we should be able to handle it all. Here's the truth. We all have limits. We cannot do it all. So setting boundaries allows us to protect our time and our energy. Ask yourself, what can I realistically take on today? If something doesn't serve your well-being, or if it's not aligned with your current priorities and what is important to you at this particular moment, know that it is okay to say no. You don't have to over-explain. You don't have to feel guilty about it. Just acknowledge your limits and choose what feels manageable. Step 3. Incorporate daily relaxation practices. So when we're in this state of stress, we tend to forget the importance of rest and relaxation. But if we don't take time to rest, then we cannot truly recharge. So it is essential to build relaxation practices and mindful practices into your daily routine, even if it's just for a few minutes. So you don't need to carve out a full hour for a full meditation session or a yoga session. You can literally take small moments throughout your day. Whether it's a few minutes of mindful breathing, stretching, stepping outside to take a quick walk, whatever it is, the goal is to give your mind and body a chance to reset. So let's try it together. Wherever you are right now, take a moment and close your eyes. Inhale deeply for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 2. 1, 2. And exhale for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this a couple of times, really focusing on the sensation of your breath moving in and out. And notice how your body starts to relax with each breath. Step 4. The power of saying no. So let's talk about something that can really help us manage our overwhelm. Saying no. We often say yes because we feel obligated, because we want to please somebody else, because we think we can handle it all. But here's the thing. Saying no is not selfish. It's self-care. So think of it this way. When you say no to something, you're saying yes to yourself and to what truly matters. If saying yes to every request is leaving you stretched too thin, it's time to prioritize your own well-being. When you say no, it doesn't have to be harsh or dramatic. You can say something as simple as, I'm not able to take this on right now, but thank you for thinking of me. You have the right to protect your time, energy, and mental space. Last step, step number 5. We are going to prioritize self-care and recharging. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths or spa days, but it's really about doing what feels restorative for you. When you're overwhelmed, self-care becomes even more essential. Prioritize activities that help you recharge, whether that's getting enough sleep, enjoying a hobby, reading, or just sitting quietly without distractions. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary. You cannot pour, we've heard this before, you can't pour from an empty cup. So, I encourage you to make it a non-negotiable part of your routine, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. These are the moments that help you feel grounded and capable of handling life's challenges. So here's our journal prompt. I want you to grab your notebook and write this down. What is one thing I can do today to reduce my overwhelm and create more space for relaxation? Think about the small changes that you can make to your routine, whether that's saying no to an obligation, taking a break, or breaking down a big task. Let your pen flow freely across the page and explore what feels the most empowering to you right now. So again, that journal prompt, what is one thing I can do today to reduce my overwhelm and create more space for relaxation? Focus just on today. So, I want to thank you for joining me today. Remember that you don't have to navigate overwhelm on your own. And by breaking tasks into smaller pieces, setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and embracing the power of saying no, you can manage stress without getting caught up in that trap of overthinking. So next time, we're going to talk about building resilience and bouncing back after setbacks. So be sure to tune in. Until then, repeat after me. I am capable of managing stress with ease and grace. Again, I am capable of managing stress with ease and grace. Keep journaling, keep breathing, and I'll see you soon.